or about chapter 3, and it says this. It says, chapter 3, Malachi. Behold, I send my messenger, and he will prepare the way before me, talking about Christ. And the Lord whom you seek will suddenly come to his temple, and the messenger of the covenant in whom you delight, behold, he is coming, says the Lord of hosts. But who can endure the day of his coming? Who can stand when he appears? For he is like a refiner's fire, and like fuller's soap. He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver, and he will purify the sons of Levi and refine them like gold and silver, and they will bring offerings and righteousness to the Lord. Then the offering in Judah and Jerusalem will be pleasing to the Lord as in the days of old and as in former years. Then I will draw near to you for judgment. I will be swift witness against the sorcerers, God's against those who continue in sorcery, those who are in witchcraft and all. God's against those people. Against the adulterers, those who commit adultery, God's against them. Against those who swear falsely, God's against those who oppress the hired worker in his wages, the widow and the fatherless, against those who thrust aside the sojourner and do not fear me, says the Lord of hosts. So again, these people, these people who practice witchcraft, sorcery, God's against them. His wrath is upon them. Those who are in adultery, God's against them. Those who lie, God's against them. Those who oppress people, God's against them. Those who are just hateful to people, and those people who are just always attacking people. Who are always just attacking others, who are always just hateful and all. God's against those also, and it says and those who do not fear Him, God's against them as well. So God doesn't, like I was telling y'all, God doesn't play around with sin. Those people who continue to sin, do not repent, He's against it. He's against them people. Like I was just talking about, those who practice witchcraft, sorcery, those who are in adultery, those who lie, those who oppress, those who do not fear God. God is against those people. Man, they're going to go to hell unless they repent of that stuff and turn to God for salvation. But He's against those people. His wrath is upon them unless they repent, turn to Him. Robbing God. For I, the Lord, do not change. God does not change. Jesus, who is God, He's the same God now as He was in the Old Testament. He's God. He does not change. For I, the Lord, do not change. Therefore, you, O children of Jacob, are not consumed. From the days of your fathers, you have turned aside from my rules and have not kept them. Return to me, and I will return to you, says the Lord of hosts. But you say, how shall we return? Will man rob God? Yet you are robbing me. But you say, how have we robbed you? And your tithes and your contributions. That's why it's so important to tithe, because your money can be used. It can be used for good. It can be used to feed the poor. It can be used to build shelters, to build villages in other countries. So it's always good. It's always good to tithe because it can be used for good. It can be used for good things. Like I said, for feeding the poor, for building villages in other countries, for all kinds of good things. But you gotta be careful also to who you give money to, because people will take it for bad. But churches out there, some majority churches will use your money for good, but some of them won't. But it's why you gotta be careful who you give your money to. But it's good to tithe, because like God says, when you don't tithe, it's like you're robbing Him. You're not giving your money to Him so that He can use it to feed the poor, to help build villages for people, to help buy water for people. Tithes can be used for good, so always tithe, because your money can be helped. Your money, can help a lot of people. You are cursed with a curse, for you are robbing me, the whole nation of you. Bring the full tithe into your storehouse, that there may be food in my house, and thereby put me to the test, says the Lord of hosts. If I will not open the windows of heaven for you and pour down for you a blessing until there is no more need, I will rebuke the devourer for you, so that it will not destroy the fruits of your soul. And your vine in the field shall not fail to bear, says the Lord of hosts. And all nations will call you blessed, for you will be a land of delight, says the Lord of hosts. Your works have been hard against me, says the Lord, but you say, how have we spoken against you? You have said it is vain to serve God. What is the profit of our keeping his charge, or of walking as in mourning before the Lord of hosts? And now we call the arrogant blessed. Evildoers not only prosper, but they put God to the test and they escape. The Book of Remembrance. And those who feared the Lord spoke with one another. The Lord paid attention and heard them, and a book of remembrance was written before him of those who feared the Lord and esteemed his name. It shall be mine, says the Lord of hosts, in the day when I make up my treasured possession. I will spare them as a man spares his son who serves him. Then once more you shall see the distinction between the righteous and the wicked, between one who serves God and one who does not serve him. They have a little graph here. It says covenant in Malachi. The word covenant in the Old Testament entails four essential components: a relationship with a non-relative that involves obligations and is established through an oath. It is used 7 times in Malachi. It says out of a mere 1,193 words, a rate 10 times greater than almost every other Old Testament book except for Deuteronomy, Joshua, Hosea, and Obadiah. This may explain why Malachi goes out of his way to identify marriage as a covenant. Proverbs is the only other book to do so explicitly. Malachi is also the only book to use the designation the messenger or angel of the covenant. It says, covenant between the Lord and Levi of a perpetual priesthood, corrupted in 2:8. It says qualities in covenant. A covenant of life, peace, and reverence for the Lord. Broken covenant resulted in abasement of priesthood. The covenant of our fathers with the Lord. Expectations of fidelity of Judah, Israel, Jerusalem into an exclusive relationship with the Lord implicates community relationships. Marital covenant between husband and wife. The Lord is a witness involving faithful relationship, the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, and godly offering. The messenger of the covenant between God and his people. The Lord is a witness. Future orientations, the Lord is alone for presence results in purity in the community. So that's chapter 3 about the messenger of the Lord and robbing God. If you don't give your tithes, you're robbing God, because God could use your money for good. He could use it. The church can use it for help feeding the poor, and to help, buying water for people, to help build villages, in other nations. I mean, your money can be used for good in the church. So that's chapter 3, and chapter 4 you're saying.